rain. Oh my god. Amazing, boys. All right, I'm gonna show this, but I'm not gonna start commentating until I finish this real quick. Food stuff. Blame it on the rain. I know, singing voice. 2019, American Idol, look out. Orange, we don't acknowledge that one. Thank you very much. Sorry, boys. I'm trying to eat as fast as I can. I still think the rains down in Africa is the best one. I'm not moving to Facebook completely, Orange. It's just going to be 40 hours of AOV for a month. All right, PVL. There it is. All right, boys. Thanks for being patient. Sorry I had to nom on some food. You know, hunger pains, all that things. But, so we have, let's see. We have Malik, Batman, Kali, Chugnar, and Talanis over on this blue side. Over on the red, we have Arduin, Irie, Aram, Violet, and Tulin. All right, so I gotta say, let's see. Going by the look of everything, I do really like Chugnar with the heal. I feel like you have to have a heal on a team. I think it's just so vital in certain fights. 2 executes on this red side, so they're really going damage heavy. I would like to see Arduin with possibly the punish ability, but okay. We'll see how it plays out for them.
Get ready.
All right, both teams raring to go, no pauses, everything's good. We can see them both running straight to the middle. I don't know if we'll see an invade. Batman really needs to kind of get an early, get his early game going. They do have an Aram over on this red side, so I guess I could see an invade onto this red side. Aram is actually going to run straight into 4 heroes. If they can slow her, and that's exactly what Talanis is doing, it's going to go really well for them. And you can see that Firefly just needs to get out of this situation, but it's completely slowed by that Talanis, and that is a big mistake. And actually, a Tulin is going to get maybe caught out here. Chugnar doing his best to throw out as much damage as he can before having to back out, and that is a win for this blue team. Absolutely, because of that Talanis. Talanis with that slow with on her arrows is just devastating to heroes early on. And like I was saying, no surprise at all. Looks like Aram doing her best to support this Violet, get her moving through this jungle, and the blue buff gets, oh my god, and wastes. Oh wow. We're gonna move on from that. That was a unfortunate event after an unfortunate event. But okay, so Batman is gonna be level 4 after hitting this creep and is ready to gank. But let's look at Violet. Violet is level 4, did clear her jungle also. Looks like Batman is heading down on bottom. Did see that Arduin that was just half-life. Sticking back quite a bit, trying to see at a time that he can't initiate. Doki Doki needs to be careful at this point. Batman coming in. Aram does see that this is happening. Batman did not use his ult, and if Violet gets caught out here, that ult could be coming his way. Tulin looks like he's possibly going to react to this. Going to run right into Malik here in just a moment, but let's stay close on this this team fight. We do see Blue now re-rotating over to mid. Batman still should have his ult up for just a few more seconds, so it wouldn't surprise me if we see him potentially try to use it pretty quickly. And no Batman ult. All right. Red team looks like could, if they knew where Blue was, they could definitely initiate onto this dragon, but they're kind of just sitting around trying to get some more information before they commit to anything as devastating as that dragon is early on in the game. Malik is and Irie up in a fight. Irie has to use her ult to get out of that bad situation that she was in. Malik seems to be in pretty control of this lane so far, but any wrong move by either one of these two is going to end up in one of them getting killed. Look at Tulanis. Tulanis doing a great job. Arduin wanted to initiate. Tulanis having to back up. But Chugnar is very close, but Tulanis is not paying attention. Does end up staying back and is actually going to completely back up here. I think that's a mistake. I think that she had such a large amount of teammates there. I feel like she should have maybe stuck with them. Batman trying to use his ult onto Tulin, but just not able to connect. Ends up going into the bush and hitting nothing at all. So the red team now initiating on the dragon. We are almost 4 minutes out, and still this dragon has not been killed. So this is going to be a good initiation by this red team. And look at this, Khalid doing her best, trying to steal it as much as she can, but Aram ulting onto Chugnar, but Alanis in the background gets dove in on by Arduin and Tulin. Batman was able to take out both of Aram and Violet, but just look at this damage coming out. Ooh, so close. Khalid just needs to flicker in and be able to get it, but she's just not able to. And I think that's a misplay on Chugnar's point. Doki Doki risking it for a biscuit here. Is he really going to stay near this? I think that Khalid, if she sees it, that's exactly what she does, and a big misplay on her Doki Doki's part. Really should have got back, but wanted to stay near the tower. Probably didn't know where the Chugnar was. But man, I can't believe that just happened. Khalid able to snipe him out from behind the tower. Really could have got him at any point if she had flicker up, but it was down through that entire fight. Great job right here, getting some eyes out on the force. Able to see this Aram. Aram is pretty dead to rights, but from what it could, if they would have maybe initiated onto it, but she's getting to that tanky mode, so I can see why they're a bit hesitant. With a Talanis, if you have a teammate and you're just not able to run away from Talanis, and I think that they really could have taken her out, but not knowing where the red team was, not having any eyes up, it was a good call. All right, so action's dying down just a little bit, but it looks like middle is going to be the one to go. And look at that, Khalid actually was hitting herself after Aram uses her ult. Khalid's ult hitting Aram actually hits Khalid. So that was an interesting a phrase I had to say there, but yeah. So Kali ends up killing herself mainly, but then the rest of the two red team members come in and actually were able to clean that up. So great job by Firefly. Was able to initiate onto the Kali and get her down. Through that fight, one thing that we didn't know was
red team tower has been destroyed.
that was Irie. So Irie actually ended up dying, which let Malik actually get that that top tower. Kali throwing out her ult, maybe a bit too soon, was trying to throw out some damage to stop them from hitting this tower, which her tower seems to be at a really good position. And Doki Doki coming in full force, throwing out as much as he can. Kali actually tried to flicker through and not get stunned by that, but he does. Batman actually using his ult, and oh, if Violet isn't careful, she's about to get hit with it. And sure enough, she does. And also Tulin was able to throw out his ult, but it's just not enough. Violet is gonna go down, and that is another pickup for this blue team. It is now 7-3. The goal lead is about 2K, and a dragon. There's still a dragon at this point. I'm really surprised at the lack of dragons that are being initiated on. Dragon is such a focal point in almost every PVL game, but the last two games that we saw and leading into this one has just been really ignored. It's been so much team fighting that I really am surprised. Usually by the moment it's up, it is already being contested. You can see the dragon is being danced around at this point. Both teams are very interested, and they really don't know what to do. Aram is doing a great job, is staying very near this, and she is the only one on this team that can really do that. I would say Irie maybe. Irie needs to be very close, and look at this, the initiation doing really well. Aram was able to get an ult out, was able to take out that Chugnar, but Aram ends up dying in the process. Irie, again, was so far away, she just wasn't able to. And a great crit coming out from Tulanis. Tulanis was able to pick off that Tulin. Arduin going in, able to land a stun on Kali. Finally, Irie comes in, but did an ult. Things happened. Batman goes down, Khalid going down, and Arduin with that execute did a great job. So both of those executes being hit on two of the targets just really shredded these two down. And Fat was able to start and end that entire fight with next to no life missing. So great pickup on him. This is going to be a big mistake for this blue team, and that's exactly what happens. Red ends up picking that up. Doki Doki did such a great job there, being able to play in the bush, and just the blue team had no idea what was going on. Aram trying to get out of this situation, but she's going to go down to that Batman's ult, and now Malik, it was in hot pursuit, but they are just not able to. They're going to switch their forces onto this Tulin. Tulin really doing a lot of damage to this Chugnar. Chugnar needs to get some magic resist. He has the armor boots, which is why Tulin is just shredding through him. If we look at Chugnar, just doesn't have any magic resist at all. At all. Has finished his shield, and he is really trying to worry more about the rest of the Irie, the Violet, and the Arduin. I mean, it's really, I don't think he needs that much armor, quite honestly. I think he needs more magic with the Aram and the Tulin. But we'll see how this plays out.
A blue team tower has been destroyed.
Oh, look at this. Doki Doki way out of position. Just gets completely dunked by this blue team. And that's something that you don't like to see. I mean, that right there, he's pushed way too far. He didn't have vision up. You need to play a little bit more careful than that. And he could have been in a fight and just got ganked, but it seemed very out of position at this point. Again, dragon is up. There's only been 2 dragons this entire time. Tulanis did a great job. She needs to slow Aram down, which is exactly what happens. Batman's going to get out of that situation. So right there, Tulanis, Batman got ulted by Aram, but Tulanis stopped attacking her, which is exactly what you're supposed to do so that she didn't kill Batman by mistake. So a lot of people don't understand how Aram works, but it was good to see. They're going for this enraged Abyssal Dragon. And at any moment, if this red team does see this, it is going to be bad news bears for him. And you can see Talanis trying to do her best. Gets crit by the dragon and is very low. And Arduin looks like he wants to all of a sudden come in. A missed ult right there. Big missed opportunity. Violet trying to do her best. The enraged Abyssal Dragon is going to get reset. And look at this. Malik way behind enemy lines. Just not able to really do anything at this point. Does get taken out. And look at this. They're trying to re-engage. Aram did a great job. Was able to land that stun. Now Khalid doesn't have her ult. Talanis doesn't have her ult. And all 5 heroes are down here versus the 4 blue. Blue really needs to cut their losses and back out at this situation. All right. So I'm really surprised about red. Red knows that blue wouldn't have been able to fight, but they're not taking any objectives. They're not going for this Abyssal Dragon, and they're not going for the Dark Slayer. I would like to see something along those lines. Rolo getting initiated on that was Half-Life from Arduin's little engage there. I mean, he is starting to do some big damage. Batman needs to be careful. He looks like he's just going to go straight bottom lane and use his ult. That's a big waste of an ult, and now this red team is reacting to that. Seeing that his ult is down, if they catch him out, oof. Again, red has been in full control of this dragon, or they could rotate up top to the Dark Slayer, and they just aren't doing it. They're really playing, I don't know, I want to call it careful, but I feel like just a little too careful. It's going to get to the point. Oh, Irie jumps in, tries to go on further to Talanis, throws out the ult, was able to connect, but Batman getting picked off by Aram, and Tulin was able to offer some support. And look at this, Aram's skill was able to stop Kali. And look at this, now they're all gonna have to back. If they do not get Dragon now, I don't know what to do about this red team. Luckily, they are finally initiating onto this. This is only the 3rd Dragon this game. We've seen games where there's been at least 4 to 5 by before the enraged Abyssal Dragon comes out. And look at this, finally able to pick this up. I'm assuming that Violet is going to get this, and now the red team is back into control. Let's take a look at the gold chart while we got some time. And look at this, the blue team had this game won, but have completely started to go downhill ever since one of their team fights. All right. So again, this red team back in the gold lead, but still behind in kills. But look at the objectives: 3 dragons, 3 towers to blues, 0 dragons, 3 towers. So, and that's right there. That's why dragons are so important. Look at the gold difference. They're behind in kills, but they are ahead in money. I mean, that's huge. A great initiation there. Arduin looks like he's dead to rights. Aram coming in, was able to get Batman. Batman's gonna go down. Same with Arduin. Arduin did his best, and this is where Talanis starts to succeed really well against that Aram. Aram slowing her down, making her basically useless. And look at this. Irie coming in, was able to finish off that Chugnar, but just not able to get to that Talanis, which I'm sure was the intended target. Khalid, again, coming back into mid, throwing out the ult, trying to clear, maybe just back off some of these heroes. I'm really not sure, but I think Khalid needs to be a little less reckless with her ult. So, like right now, both heroes are going to go back, and now look at this. The damage is going to get on this tower is going to be huge. And just Khalid could have possibly waited. Look at how much damage is being lost. They're actually going to lose this tower because Khalid, like, basically wasted her ult there. But look at that. I mean, this tower was darn near full. And such a misplay by Khalid. It's so easy to tell where the creeps are at. You just look at the other lanes and you can kind of get a majority, an idea of where it is, and play accordingly. So if you see that your creeps are about this area, you know the red creeps are probably that area, and you can kind of judge at that point. All right, so we are seeing a the action die down just a little bit, but looks like Malik actually trying to jump in, trying to catch that Violet, but just wasn't able to. Arduin wanted to initiate, but came out with Chugnar, and both Chugnar and Arduin both looked at each other and ran away. Red team very much grouped. Irie doing a great job staying off in the bush, making sure to look for that primary target and go for it. Look at Talanis way in the back. Irie going head-to-head, trying to get to Talanis. Oh, a great flicker, and wow, what a play that was. But the rest of the blue team just perishes in the meantime, and actually only one of them. So they're all so low, though. Batman now still half-life, and let's take a look. Batman was able to pick off Violet and Tulin. So Tulin ended up dying there. Violet ended up dying there. And Batman actually picking up another one, which is Irie. So 3 heroes down. Batman is now 11-4 and is just, legs are weak at this point. Carrying. How hard is he going to carry this team right now? So we've seen some pretty decent plays, but he just has so much damage at this point because of how fed he is that he's able to just push this team through. It's basically save Talanis, and this game is going to be such an easy win for them. Batman is definitely a high priority target, so if they can catch a Batman outright, then Talanis is going to be the next one, but Talanis is definitely the primary target still, even though the Batman has 11 kills. Alright, so we are waiting for the next team fight to start going off. Again, objectives. Like, there's so many times where this red or blue team could go for the Dark Slayer, but we're just not seeing it. Or we could see them maybe pushing other lanes. They're very grouped as 5. It's a very unique strategy that they're going with here. Both sides. I like what Talanis is doing, is actually going through and trying to pick up the... oh, Batman actually getting caught outright. And Irie actually runs straight past Batman, not wanting to go after him. And look at Aram trying to go and trying to grab Batman, but just not able to. Ends up getting Chugnar. Chugnar is able to back up, but does die to the execute from Arduin. And Violet showing up just too little, too late, and is now 2-on-3 at this point. Talanis down on bottom doing a great job, and look at that damage. Violet just gets smoked by Batman. But let's check in down on bottom. Irie and Talanis. This is going to be a big fight right here. Whoever wins this is going to be able to fight get the tower, and there it is. Talanis should lose that fight in almost every scenario, unless she gets a few good crits off. All right, so 12-5 for this Batman. He has died the most on his team, but has got quite a bit of kills. Kali almost was able to get a good ult off, but just doesn't have the life at this point. She needs to play further back. Alright, so red team still up in money. That 3 dragons, I'm telling you, is just doing wonders for them. They're also catching up in kills. They're now only 1 kill difference. And this is what I'm talking about. Look at this. The red team has been the only ones to really go for these dragons. They've started 3 of these dragons and have finished 3 of these dragons. Malik actually able to see what is going on. And this red team really needs to pay attention, so Doki Doki needs to get there quickly as possible. Batman getting caught out by Aram. Really not sure what he was planning on doing there. Possibly trying to go in and finish off the dragon, but it was just nowhere near. And we can see that Tulin now picking up the Dark Blessing. And Irie, while this is all going on, Irie up on top and is going to be able to finish off this tower. So blue team, or this red team, just absolutely playing out of their mind. Kali must have mistakenly flickered there. This red team is just completely deserves to win this game. They're doing everything right. It's just if they can close out these team fights. If so, Kali throwing out her ult, hitting majority of the damage went to Aram, but we see Doki Doki actually was able to finish off that Talanis. Talanis is the bread and butter of this team. Kali throwing out her pool, but again, way too early. She needs to wait for these creep waves, making sure that she doesn't waste her mana or have any, but she was able to throw it out again, which is just perfect. Batman doing his Batman things, able to run around. He's looking to initiate onto this Irie or this, oh, and he misses his ult and completely is getting baited. And from running away, look at this. Chugnar now way out of position. Needs to back up. Kali and Malik so far away, trying to defend the base. And look at this. No one ended up dying except for the Talanis, which was a match before. Kali actually finishing her big boy item. I just really cannot believe how many 5v5 team fights there have been in this game and how little objectives there are. I was going to say, Irie did the great job of split pushing there in that last, before that last team fight. And that really made a big difference. Able to get more objectives. If it would have been another 5 team fight, it just wouldn't have worked out very well. And like right now, they're trying to initiate onto this RM, or just thinking about initiating on this RM. But look at this damage from Batman, doing wonders. Able to go in, do some damage, and Violet too. And he wasn't able to take out Violet. Chugnar coming in to try to finish it off, but Kali from downtown was able to hit him. But again, she comes back to life. Violet is up, and she's devastates Talanis. Talanis now trying to run for her life, doesn't know what to do, and is believably getting out of that situation. I cannot believe that, but jumps right back in. Why she didn't run down this way, I don't know, but Violet was right there to finish her off, and look at this. Able to hopefully get out of this is Chugnar, and look at this Kali doing so much damage to that Irie. Alright, so yeah, wow, I'm just really surprised Talanis ran back in there. So things are dying down. Let's take a look at the gold chart real quick. Blue's game all at the beginning, and then the moment they lost that dragon, it has been just completely devastating for them. And again, look at this red team. It looks like they're possibly gearing up for this Darkslayer. Arduin already pushing this bottom lane, doing a great job, making sure that that's going. All right. I'm just, like, seriously, it's so weird that both teams are so scared to have someone off by themselves that it's complete 5v5 team fights this entire game. This entire game has just been 5v5 team fights. And look at this. Is the blue team really trying to think about possibly doing this Darkslayer? Look at this. Arm does find Malik into the bush. Big damage coming out, but Arm's going to grab Malik, and that is going to be quickly is going to get taken out, but actually was able to jump up, but dies quickly right afterwards. A great save by Solanis, actually taking a bullet for Batman, but ends up paying for it. But this red team is now in hot pursuit of Kali. Isn't able to take her out. She's going to get back into base. Chugnar was pushing this mid lane. Really needs to get back in the base. Arduin getting just crippled by this Kali, but Kali needs to be careful. An ult coming out from Tulin really was meant for Kali, but just wasn't able to finish it off. And look at that. He's able to get away from that scenario. I just, so crazy. So again, we still, no objectives. Dragon's going to spawn in about 2 seconds. Darkslayer's still been up this entire time. I think that would do wonders. And look at this. They're actually going to lose a high ground tower. That is so bad for red. That is so bad for red. The complete misplay on that. That is one lane that this blue team does not have to worry about now because of the constant pushing that's going to do. Oh, that's so bad. I don't want to say that just changed the game, but that might have just changed the game. That is now a lane that they don't have to worry about, a side of the map that they don't care about. And now Irie's going to have to deal with that. And look at this, Batman coming in strong, able to jump out, throw out some damage. not able to finish him off, so Batman is falling off quite a bit. And look at that, just one pass of Violet with this Kali is just absolutely devastating. So once this creep wave does start coming in, and you can see that it is right here, raring to go. Malik actually coming in, ready to drop his ult at any moment's notice. Arm is very strong, and I gotta say, the Chugnar having that item, Agony, is a really good choice. And look at this, Khalid did wonders there, and the pool was perfect. Chugnar throwing out as much as he can, but now they're initiating onto Khalid. Khalid looks like she is dead to rights. Tolanis in the back, just able to lay down the law, and the game is over the top lane. It's exactly what I was saying. Yes, it's exactly what I was saying. The top lane was such a bad thing, and it just changed the game. I called it. I've absolutely called it. Oh my god. Oh my god. The back door from Batman really won the game. Put this team on your back, Batman. You, sir, deserve MVP on that one. Absolutely crushed it. Khalid was doing such great damage towards the end of that match. Wow. Just like I was saying, that top lane was such a big mistake. That was the biggest mistake. Red team was complete control of the mid part of the map. Like, they had such control over that mid side of the map, and then losing that lane, forgetting to push that lane. Wow. Wow. Cannot believe what I just witnessed. I just cannot believe that. Like, I even pointed it out. I was like, oh, those minions that's going to be bad news for them. Just when you think you got this game. Just when you think you know. Just when you think you know. Very, such a cool game. Wow. Wow. Respect the ban, Batman. Yeah, seriously. You know he's getting banned. You know he's getting banned. Awareness lost in the game. It really did. That it did. I cannot believe that. I really cannot believe that game. So crazy. I called it. The best. I even called it. Violet and Tulin saw and tried to recall, but the blue team got so close that they couldn't retreat in time. Wow. They knew about Born. Just waiting on TrashTime. I just cannot believe that. They need to clear the waves better overall. I agree. I agree, James. Yep. They really had complete control over that the mid side of the map. And and it just slipped through their fingers. Wow. Wow. So insane. So insane. Wait, I'm not #1 Batman? Nope, Tiny, I'm sorry. I don't think you are. It's imperative to her. Yeah, it's her core item. It's one of her core items for sure. All right. let's get this going. All right, so this is now game 2. So BFT won that last game. Good from that Batman play towards the end. Able to steal or backdoor and finish off the enemy core without the team being able to get back in time and finish it off. So now I'm curious to see the blue team's not banning Batman now. So Marja, Mina, and Omen all being banned out. And it looks like Aram, Cricknack, and Groot being banned out over on this this red side. So no surprise, the Aram definitely was the pain point for this red team last game. They just weren't able to make big plays because Aram would come in and completely stop everything in motion. Annette getting picked up. Annette, such a strong support at this point. No surprise there. Khalid being picked up did wonders last game, and Malik being picked up did wonders as well. So I'm curious if they rock with the same team, or the same team comp that they ran last game. So looks like Ignis being picked up, which is a solid pick, and really Amelie. So Amelie getting picked up, which is a very odd pick. Chugnar being picked up for this red side, and don't. Someone. Ugh. Someone watches the stream. I'm telling you, someone totally watches the stream. So Scud and Wisp being picked up are going to be the final pickups for this blue team. And the final pick for this red team, which should be the marksman of some sort. And there we go with Joker. So Joker, not a bad pick. I think, I don't know. Kali and Joker both being the kind of far distance in the back kind of type of heroes. Malik and Chugnar are really going to have to tank a lot in order for this team to succeed. Xanis is just, Xanis, so he's going to fall over and die once he runs in. Ice, bud. Welcome back. Good to see you. I don't think I like the Joker play. I'm starting to think about it. I think a better marksman would work a little bit better with this team comp. Joker in a lot of areas would do well, but I don't see it working. But I don't know. Maybe we'll be wrong. As far as the rest of the team, I think obviously Xanis is definitely going to be a pain point. They do have an Annette. Annette versus Xanis Annette needs a little bit to set up. Like, her setup ability is really, really strong. If she's able to land those stuns, it's devastating. But if Xanis is running in and really pressuring her to throw out those stuns, then she's going to miss them and actually cause this hero to have some issues. Scud, solid pick. Ignis, solid pick. Wisp, very strong right now. I didn't realize how strong she was until we saw her played yesterday. And Amelie, I think Amelie and both Xanis are definitely the pain points of these two teams. They're very low-tier type heroes. So I can see either one of them doing fine, but not exceptionally well. That they could do with either like for instance, a Scud or something along those lines.
Prepare to engage.
All right, so both teams running off into their respective jungles. I don't see any kind of invade. Both heroes really need their buffs to get to get this kind of ball rolling. And you can see that red is going to go ahead and stick with their blue, and Emily's going to do the same. So Emily actually has some pressure from this Malik, and we see Ignis actually not really paying attention. Malik did throw out his ability, trying to steal it, which would have been huge, but looks like Emily just used punish just to finish it off. So great job actually saving punish. A lot of people, they try to run in and just punish immediately just to get it on cooldown. Always the best just to save it. Save it for when you're about to last hit the creep. It's way more important. So Khalid taking quite a bit of damage there. So good stuff by Scud to run all the way down to mid, but needs to be careful because his tower's now going to be taking some damage. He's able to get up there pretty quickly, and luckily there's no seed minion yet, so it's not a bad choice to make those kinds of attempts at a play early on in the game. All right, so we have Emily and Xanis both clearing out their jungles, and they are ready to gank. We see Emily now making their way into mid, and we see Xanis actually finding Scud over by the Darkslayer. Annette, I would like to see Annette trying to set up some more ganks at this point. We've seen her definitely babysitting Wisp down on bottom, but Wisp and Versa Joker really can do whatever they want. Xanis waiting in the jungle, waiting for the team to do everything so that he can come in and finish off whatever kill his grummy little hands can get. And look at this, Xanis now showing up into mid. It's really going to give a lot of information to this team, and we'll see what they're going to do with it. I think Firefly really needs to back up. If any fight breaks out right now, they can't do much, and they're very susceptible without their ult, and they're only level 3 at this point, so I think backing up is probably the best choice for them. Red team does pick that up, and they are ready to do this dragon. And look at this, Xanis is here, Kali, Joker, and Chugnar all here. They don't have much out as far as things. Okay, it looks like Xanis does find a attempt at Ignis, and you can just see the damage coming out. One trick pony ran in, threw all his skills, didn't do much damage, and just completely gets counter ganked by this blue team. So with Xanis, it's really difficult. You want to save your run to get out as opposed to get in type situations. So he really wasted all of his cards just getting to the hero and just didn't have anything to get out of it. Emily actually pretty close to offer some kind of support to this bottom lane. But again, both of these teams not going for these objectives. So we're at 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and still this dragon is up and has not been touched yet. And look at this, Ignis throwing out some damage, trying to throw out some damage, ends up missing. Ooh, a great ult by Khalid. She's able to connect, and look at having to flicker away. So Firefly needs to just get out. Doesn't have flicker, under half life, under almost even a quarter life. Just needs to back out, and now still taking damage. One rocket from Joker, and she's going to be done. There's no reason for her to stay. She's not getting any experience from these minions. Hopefully trying to steal some from this by chance. But you can see Joker already seeing how low she is going in. Emily going in, trying to throw out some damage, but again, such a pain point. Ends up falling on her face. Chugnar ends up throwing out some damage, but ends up dying in the process. So that's the point of Emily. She's not a great hero currently. Xanis is kind of the same way. They just have these really big gaping flaws in their kits that they just need to get fixed. Once they get a little bit more balancing, I think they're going to be good. But Emily's ult or passive is just so good when the person's by themselves and she's top lane. But as far as being in a jungle, I just don't see her as a good jungle hero. You could easily have a Cricknack that could two-shot somebody, but instead you have Emily that can like pseudo do damage. Just different types of things out there. Ooh, a great Kali damage coming out, able to land on quite a bit. And look at this, Firefly again having to run away. She, for some reason, I don't know what Firefly is doing that's taking so much damage, but again, needs to back up, heal, and then get back into this fight. So right now, this creep wave is pushing. You need to go back and heal as quickly as possible so you can get back before this creep wave is fully pushed into your lane, or before your marksman ends up dying in lane. Again, Annette is very much babysitting this bottom lane, and so is this Chugnar. I'd like to see them roam a little bit, maybe try to go somewhere else, but just not able to. But yeah, I don't think this Amelie really in the she can jungle and she can do damage and she can do well, I'm sure, in certain games, but just overall, she's just not nearly at the level that, like, say, a Cricknack or someone along those lines is. Look at this Firefly taking a lot of damage from Kali, and Firefly's just having just a really tough time being able to stay in lane. I don't know where all this is going, but Riot actually taking a lot of damage. The Scud, and look at this Firefly jumping straight into the middle of everything. Throws out a skill, not able to land, but look at this. If she would have saved it, she would have been able to get two of them right there. Scud trying to go in, finish off that Kali, but just doesn't connect. Firefly did heal up quite a bit just due to the amount of skills she casted, which then allowed her to heal. Her passive, every what is it, 10 skills, she'll heal and anything around her. So right now, going for Dragon. Finally, a Dragon. 7 minutes into this game, Blue picks it up. Red has no idea because they haven't even been checking Dragons this entire game, it seems like. And that's what I like to see. So right now, we're looking at a very low-scoring game. 7 minutes in, 1 Dragon. And look at that 1 Dragon. That is equivalent to 2 kills. And Firefly runs straight into a trap. Doing a great job throwing out that out, but she doesn't have Flicker, so she's going to get punished for that. She used Flicker earlier on in the mid lane. Amelie coming in does have Xana soloed, which she finally does get that extra damage buff, which makes her very useful. But then as soon as the team fights start, that's when things normally go downhill, but finishes off Kali as well. But Ignis dies in the process. I didn't even see how he died. Must have been from the pool? If he died to the pool, that's just maybe not the best use of his time. He could have easily backed off, as opposed to continuing to pressure the Kali. You can see that this bottom tower, this team really wants to go for it. So I gotta give it to this blue team. They're doing really well. They were able to finally get an objective. I want to see once 40 seconds lands, I want to see the blue team here ready to go, and I want this red team to like know that it's coming up and be ready to initiate onto this. But so the best thing to do when you know that the dragon is coming up, save everything. Save everything you can until there's about 10 seconds or so, and then try to pick off an enemy hero. If it is a 4v5, you're gonna potentially get Dragon with no issue. So right now, Wisp did a great job, landed her ult onto 3 people. Look at this, Wisp coming in, throwing out some of the damage out onto this, and then Malik coming in, throwing out his ult, but misses. Joker off to the side, full life, not even in the fight. So right now, blue team is in such a great opportunity because of how low red has been, that they could easily go for the dragon. Or I shouldn't say easily, but could potentially go for the dragon. It is up again. It is going to be enraged, and I just still cannot believe. So there's 4 heroes in mid. They all see that, and yet we still have Ignis and Annette just hanging out. We got some damage coming out, but just nothing major at this point. Scud initiating onto Malik. Malik able to use his ult, get out of that situation. No committing on either side, I gotta say. It's pretty interesting. Malik looks like he's gonna get taken out by the Ignis using his combo. Very nice. Okay, so enemy is down. If you're the blue team at this point, you need to take an objective. I don't care if it's a tower. I don't care what it is, but just do some kind of objective. Joker did a great job actually resetting the buff. I mean, you want to do that as many times as you can, especially when you're down a hero, because just like I was saying, that they should probably take the dragon. It's a great skill to get into. So the damage coming out onto Kali. Kali is finally able to get taken out by the Amelie and the Annette. Amelie getting hit with that rocket. That rocket just really not doing that much. Even has rank breaker. Joker is 2-0. I would expect that to do a little bit more damage. There we go. Big damage coming out. Joker throwing out his ult, and wow, the shield on top of the heal just not able to, or not much happened there. Ignis coming in, throwing out everything he's got, but still just not able to really connect. I gotta say, this is kind of similar to what we saw last game. This red team is very cautious, making sure that it's only that all 5 of them are around and ready to go. Kali throwing her ult, able to clear the creep wave and also clear out the Ignis, making sure that he gets some damage onto him. Kali's ult does come back at a pretty reasonable pace. So it should be up for the next creep wave also. Man. The red team again looks like they're finally able to go after an objective. Xanis is possibly going to die to this if he's not careful. And the blue team, Wisp actually runs straight into him, and Xanis needs to get out of there. And look at this. Kali trying to help. Wisp actually helping the enemy team. And look at that. Xanis just gets destroyed. Wisp able to pick up the Abyssal Dragon. And luckily, Wisp does go for the Dark Blessing. And that is the power of the red team right there. They're just not at that. They're just not there to. The team didn't react to it. It's kind of sad. They should have been there. Joker ended up going down to Scud. The whole red team should have been there. They were pushing lanes and probably trying to make sure that they were maybe out of that. Oh, and Ignis coming in with some big boy damage. Wisp missing the ult completely. Annette pushing down on bottom. I think this is it is a 7K gold lead at this point. Wow. So right now, this red team is just in a just complete struggle bus. Anything that they do try to get going just seems to land straight on their face, and I think it's a lot to do with the team comp. Like I said, it didn't seem like a great team comp. Joker being able, he's doing well on himself. He's 3-0, but he's just picking off from a distance, which doesn't really help out the team that much, and they don't really have much sustained damage. Like I was saying, it's only Xanis is the only one. Malik can do some good sustained damage, but he just gets completely ticked. Xanis getting caught out completely in the worst position that he could be in, and without any kind of a escape mechanism, he's just paper to this team. All right, so blue team 10 kills, red team 4 kills. It is now a 7K gold lead, 5 towers for this blue team and 2 dragons. Was taking off this blue. I don't really know what to do with this red team. I feel like I was going to say they need to group, but that's what they've been doing all game. So maybe they need to spread out, push a lane, maybe solo out some of these some of these heroes, because them together, the blue team together, is winning the team fights every single time. I think this red team needs to wear them thin and try to push out some of these lanes. Not fully push them out, but at least get them separated. Like this, for instance, Xanis trying to go up top but run straight into Scud, but it's just not a great situation. Oh, look at that. Wisp almost dying to Kali. Wow. Hey, Xanis was actually able to take out Scud, so that's a step in the right direction. Scud is 2-1. Really should have been able to take that fight, so must have been low on life or something. I really don't know. So with Scud being down, it is now a 4v5. I think this red team needs to either take an objective or just completely dive on the next person they see. And that's exactly what happens. Ignis gets caught out. And this is finally what we're looking for. And now you can see Annette taking the blunt of all the damage. And then Amelie coming in, trying to initiate onto Chucknar. But it's just not enough. Again, the red team has Ignis down. They're all full life. They could literally do an objective, but look where Xanis is going. He's going all the way down on bottom. You can see that this red team is reacting to look at this this top lane. But if they start to initiate onto this Dark Slayer, they just aren't in the position at this point. Especially now that Xanis is showing down on bottom, just having that creep wave and that sight is so huge. To know what kind of fight you're going to be going into and what heroes aren't there, so you can start making decisions of what to do. So we can see that this blue team is trying to set up something. Oh, and actually Xanis was able to pick up on a Wisp. So finally he's making some good choices as far as which heroes to go for. Picking up on the Wisp and picking up on the, I believe that was the Ignis, is what he needs to do. So yeah, he's doing well. You can see Amelie coming down on bottom, wanting to get a piece of the Xanis, just to show him who's boss. But you can see Xanis doesn't want any part of that. All 5 heroes here, they can see Scud on top, and they can see Annette in mid, yet they don't initiate onto this. All right. Big initiations, but just still not. Amelie going in, throwing out her ult. You can see Malik jumping in, throwing out what he can. Annette actually throwing out her ult, but it's just not enough. And Malik was able to pick off Amelie. And it's just not a great initiation by the blue team, but the red team was disengaging and throwing out so much damage that they ended up winning that. And look at this. You can see Wisp actually able to finish off this dragon by herself. Another objective for this blue team, which is exactly what they needed at this point. And let's take a look at the gold. I mean, the gold has just been completely in the blue team's favor. This red team just still not wanting to go for these objectives, or even if they do, they just completely get stopped. Yeah, so I want to see this red team really come together and throw out some kind of good team fight, but I just don't know if it's going to happen. And now look at this. They are actually taking on the Dark Slayer with the 50% less damage thing. You can see Xanis going straight for that Wisp, and Annette was there to offer some assistance. Xanis is going to be back up. Wisp does get taken out, but Annette is able to finish off the other 2. The 4 blue members are up at this point, but only Joker is alive. And with the 50% less damage buff, you can see that they are trying to kill this Dark Slayer as quickly as possible, but it is much difficult. Much difficult. And I don't think that they're going to be able to finish it. Scud really needs to come over here and help. I don't think Annette is... Oh yeah, Annette is actually going to be able to finish it, so good for her. So they do have... They just actually lost their other buff, I believe. So now they do have the Dark Blessing, which is even better. Wow. Yeah, both teams are very much stalling. In a sense, the red team really is waiting to get these perfect team fights with hoping that either Xanis or Joker pick off somebody. But and look at that, just as we said that, Ignis does get picked off by that Xanis. And that is the ideal situation that this red team wants to be in. Scud getting initiated onto next. And Wisp throwing out some really good damage out to the entire team. But Chugnar is going to get out of there unscathed. Alright, so look at this. This blue team's now pushing into mid. Finally, we're going to get some kind of team fight. Riot was able to take out... And look at this, Xanis way out of position. Walks straight into 3 to 4 of those blue members and just gets completely wrecked. And now Joker is trying to throw out as many rockets as possible. And this could be the end of the game, but look at this, Annette going down on bottom instead of pushing this mid. They're so... At anything, I would say maybe push this top. But... Emily, not Annette. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Why are they farming everyone's full build? I know. There's a point where people just farm just to farm because that's what they have been doing all game. They're just getting the rhythm. You know what I'm saying? And they really don't need to. There's a point where you would sell your boots, but that point's usually takes a while. Ignis picking up Holy of Unholies, so he is going to be hitting like an absolute truck. Scud throwing out some damage, making Malik trying to use his ult as defensive instead of offensive. Annette taking a lot of damage from that tower, and look at that. Xanis is going to be up in just a moment, and look at this. He could finish off Wisp, and that's exactly what happens. It is now 3-on-3, and Wisp very close to dying. Needs to just completely go back to base. Needs to collect his $200 and go home. And look at this. Malik still in hot pursuit. Might be able to finish this off. Oh, used his flicker way too late there. And look, still, they're not really able to do anything to this Malik. Again, full builds. Nothing... I can understand them taking the some of the minions, like if you Doki Doki wanted to take some of these just to get life, but there's a point. Ignis really needs to go and heal, especially during this point where the red team is doing the exact same thing. So the a raged abyssal dragon just spawned. I think they need to really go in on this. Look at this. All 5 heroes here. Go initiate onto that Malik, but they don't. Wisp tries to do the best that she can and ends up having to back up. So Chugnar backing up. So wow. So odd. It's so odd. It's such a different type of game than we're used to seeing. Annette right there should have ulted, would have cut off two of their player members, and would have been able to pick one of them off. I think that would have been such a huge play for Firefly, but it doesn't end up working out. The buff is up, but it's going to be quickly used on by Ignis. We have ults coming out. Xanis, this blue team is actually falling apart, and that is going to be a complete team wipe, and for no reason oh my god, can you believe this? The entire team gets killed. This red team is now completely in this game. So what blue should have ended this game so long ago has now completely turned this game around. And the thing that I gotta say is Chugnar hasn't completed his last 2 items. I gotta say, that's an odd choice. They can really end the game here if they just pushed mid. I really don't understand this. There's only... I mean... They can win the game. Xanis is too busy with the Darkslayer at this point, but... The only... I guess they're spawning now, but... They really could have won the game there. So right now they just need to be. I don't know who's gonna win this. I really think that Red has the team fight capability now in the late game, but this Chugnar is definitely a hindrance to their team. He needs to finish those last 2 items, and finally finishing Frost, and he has enough money to finish the support item. I don't know.
The
Great Dragon being summoned on this top lane, so this you can see the entire blue team rotating over to it. The tower getting killed. It's a great dragon right there. And Wisp getting taken out. She's going to be back up and ready to go. A great Annette ult, but just not enough to keep him away. Malik jumping in, throwing out his damage as best he can, and this blue team is just getting destroyed. It's not looking good. Xanis was too busy in the back, was able to finish out the Scud, and now the blue team is in such a problem. Ignis did a great job being able to throw out the damage onto Joker. Joker ends up getting taken out, and this blue team, if they're not able to attack the core, they need to attack this top tower, and that's exactly what they go for. So now it is even up. The bases are even. And now Malik jumping in. Looks like he wants to try to finish this game, but just not able to. Xanis at any moment, once this minion gets close to there, could run in and try to finish the game, but he's not going to. They really don't. There's a thing that they need, which is the point where they believe in their abilities. And you can see that both teams are playing so careful when they are. Both could have won the game multiple times now. Both of them. And we just keep seeing these teams back or split up or disengage from things that are potentially game-winning pushes. And that's, I mean, that's just a thing from players who are just maybe just not aware of like the damage potential at any given time. But like right now, Xanis doesn't need to be killing this other than maybe to get the buff. He got the other buff. I mean, I guess no one needs money. No one needs money. This game is long. I agree. 28 minutes. I don't know. I don't understand why neither of them have finished it. Red has been able to win 2 times now. Guaranteed 2 times. Blue has been able to win at least once, if not more. And they both have really completely missed the boat. Just really missed the boat. And look at this, Xanis just going in, trying to throw out everything he's got. And this is what I'm talking about. You got to be careful. You can't be doing that. Wisp needs to get out of that bad situation. There was just no one there to help him. And Wisp just completely ran the wrong way. I think if he would have ran towards his team, it would have been so much better. But if we take a look back, Emily's trying to do his best back in the back line, but just not able to because it's Emily. She's just all damaged, no tank. And yeah, she just has no tank items. If we look at Xanis' build, it at least has 2 items that I would say are considered tanky and still doing quite a bit of damage. But it is next to over for this blue team. I don't think that they're going to be able to pull it off. But let's take a look. I think that both teams are going to disengage again. I really do. I think that both of them are actually going to disengage. This red team can win it right here. Or they can at least push this bottom lane in there. Oh my god, no. What? Is this happening? This at least makes sense. They're getting the buff and also getting the Dark Blessing. But wow. Like, I just don't know. I just don't know what to say. Emily is in a bad position. She is paper to this team. She just needs to get it completely out. This blue team is on the ropes. This red team, to win, this is what the red team needs to do. Push top, middle, and bottom. They win. If they want to give this blue team a chance, they need to group as 5 and fight. So the red team wins if they just keep the lanes pushed, because the red team cannot finish pushing. I don't think they could actually win. Is this... Oh, my God. I don't know. I just don't know. Alright. So, Emily did make a good call. She actually went to get a little bit more tanky, which is what she needs to do. I don't think that would have been the choice item that I would have went with, but, I mean, at least she's getting some armor as opposed to what Xanis has. I don't know what to do at this point. She actually sold her boots. So Emily's going to be a walking tank, I guess. Very slow. And actually, look at the red team. They actually split up and are doing the split push. This is what they need to do in order to win. So Chugnar needs to stay on bottom, keep pushing this, keep pressure on this lane. And if he keeps doing that, that's really going to split blue team up. This is the best thing the red team has done all game. They've done some pretty good team fights, but if they can keep split pushing like this, so like right now, they finished another tower. Perfect. That's what you need to do. Now, have Joker come down here. Keep this lane pushed. Keep top pushed. Keep mid pushed. Keep their assets split. And then this blue team cannot push S5 and completely wipe you. That's the thing that's going to come. So Scud actually trying to initiate onto Chugnar, which is interesting. Ends up trying to get some damage onto Chugnar and that dragon. That dragon is a potential threat for this core. Needs to get it down. Ignis getting very low. Needs to back up. He's going to heal. Amelie finally back in base. And now look at this. You can see that Annette very close and needs to back the team off. And that's exactly what happens. But the team is going to win. Just finally, the red team wins. They end up just pushing into the base and end up not fighting at all. The blue team really needed to push or needed to fight before the minions got to the base. But again, they wanted to reset just like they've been doing the entire game, which was kind of unfortunate. But okay. That was a game. That was a game. 33 minutes.